"Hey, Dad, I got the card in the mail. I haven't activated it yet, but he told me to come see you, so."
All right. So what we're gonna talk about is how to use this credit card.
Okay.
First credit card, right? First one.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a credit card before.
No.
Do you know much about a credit card?
Just know I got to pay it back.
So do you have what's the limit on that credit card?
500.
Okay, cool. And did you end up having to secure it, I guess, at the credit union?
Yeah.
Okay, so they secure the credit card. Good.
Mm-hmm.
I like this idea better than the installment loan, assuming that you work this thing properly. And last time we talked, I'd asked you to get with me on how to use it before you do. So thank you for doing that. So here's what you want to do. To get the most points out of this credit card, you need to keep your balance as low as possible in comparison to the limit.
Okay.
All right? So what the credit score is looking at is how much of that credit limit are you using. And what I want you to do is I want us to get the most points out of this thing. And I only want you to use maybe 5% or less of this card each month is how much I want you to keep on this card.
Okay.
So let me explain. And at any point, interrupt me and ask me a question.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So you have a $500 limit, and I want you to pay whatever you use on this card. I want you to pay, let's just do easy math, everything but $5 each month.
Okay.
So I want you to tell yourself, anytime you go to use that credit card, you're going to tell yourself that you're going to pay it off before the statement date. All right?
Okay.
When you get your bill, you're going to pay the whole thing off, except for $5.
$5. Right.
All right? Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So I go get gas. I can go get gas with this card,
Right.
but I need to pay all of that down except for $5.
Except for $5.
Okay.
So, for example, you get just tank of gas once a month. That's a great idea. Just get a tank of gas, right? Bill comes in, and it says you have a $75 balance. You have a $25 minimum payment. You're going to ignore that minimum payment, right? You're going to look and say, what's my balance? It's my real-time balance, actually. And you're going to pay everything but $5. So if you know that you haven't used it since that statement date came in and your balance is, in fact, $75, you're going to pay how much?
$70.
That's right. And that's going to leave $5.
Right.
Do you know why?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay, well, the credit card companies only report to your credit bureau once a month, right?
Okay.
So once it reports, it's going to report a $5 balance, and it's not going to update again for a whole nother month. Now, so after you pay that $5, after you pay everything but the $5, you're going to wait a couple of days for everything to report, and then you can use it again. Just when the next billing statement comes in, make sure you pay whatever that balance is, everything but
$5.
$5.
$5. So why can't I just pay the whole thing off? Why does it have to be $5?
You can pay the whole thing off, but the reason I want a $5 balance on there is because it actually helps your credit score to have a very small balance as opposed to zero. Yeah, usually it's around 15 to 20 extra points. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the way it works. And you don't want to leave that much more on it because, again, the more you use that reports each month, the lower that credit score is going to be. That means the higher your utilization. So this credit card can be a good tool to help for cash flow reasons, things like that. Hey, I'm a little short before next payday. I'm going to go ahead and put this tank of gas on this credit card. Hey, I'm going to buy this meal on the credit card. But you're telling yourself
Everything but $5.
everything but $5.
So does that make a difference if it's a $1,000 credit card, $2,000 credit card? Is it all the same or higher?
No, that's a great question. So no, it doesn't make a difference. And when you say make a difference, do you mean like would I have a higher credit score if my limit was higher?
Well, I'm asking. Okay, well, let's say this credit card was $2,000 limit, and I just did the same thing, left $5. Would that make it better than the $500 card, or is it the same?
Yeah. So again, great question. So it doesn't matter because your utilization would still be under 5%.
Okay.
Right? And there's a lot of misconceptions out there that, well, the higher the limit, the higher your credit score. And this is not true. I mean, let's pretend like that's a $200 credit card, right? With a
Same
$200
thing.
limit, you paid it down to $5 each month. You're under 5%, right? Because 10% would be $20, 5% would be $10. You'd be under 5%. So the utilization portion of the credit score is looking at a percentage. It's not looking at how high is the guy's limit.
Right.
So you can get the same amount of points with a $200 card or that $500 card as a guy with a $20,000 card. It's all about how you use it. Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah. And besides that, what can a high limit credit card help you with? It can help you get other high limit credit cards. So credit card companies typically don't, even though you could be a 740 with this $500 limit credit card, that doesn't mean now that I'm a 740, I can apply for this, American Express with a $20,000 limit. They're probably not going to give you a $20,000 limit. Usually the next credit card company will consider your current limits. Nobody wants to be the first in the credit card companies. They'll consider what you currently have, and they'll say, well, we'll give you a $1,000 limit. And then,
Just
as time
slowly.
goes, you can build it up.
Okay.
But again, look, we see, in the business we're in, we see people every day that these credit cards got out of control, right? Where they were living off of them or just got frivolous and weren't in the position to get these things paid back down. And it can happen to the best of us, right? And you look up and now you've got all this ridiculous credit card debt, and next thing you know, half your paycheck's going trying to just make the minimum payments on these credit cards. So this can be very dangerous. And this is where eventually they're loaded up with debt, and they can't get these things down because so much of it's going towards interest, so much of it's going towards penalties. There's unknowns out there. Like, maybe they weren't making the same income as they once were. Maybe it was a result of COVID and they were forced to have to live off of these things. And again, they serve a purpose, but it's also dangerous when all of a sudden you can't get back in front of these things and you're overwhelmed and underwater with them. So be very careful. Use it as a tool. I like the idea of the credit card for more on not so that you can get these higher limit credit cards in the future, but to at least establish a good credit score so that positions you to buy your home in the future, positions you to get, decent financing on a vehicle, and some of those things that credit might make a little more sense. Make sense?
Yeah, that does. Thanks, Dad.
All right.
Thanks.
One more chore.
Okay.
One more to do.
Okay.
There might be more. But,
Okay.
So not like one more forever. One more in this conversation.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, so we can be sure, is once you said you're going to get a tank of gas, right?
Yep.
Can you commit to just doing a tank of gas on this first one once you activate it?
Yeah.
And not use it for anything else? All right.
No.
Fair enough? Okay. Once the bill comes in, so get your tank of gas, put it in your wallet, forget about it. All right? Then what I want you to do is when the statement comes in, I know we talked about it, but I want you to come back and see me.
Okay.
All right?
All
Fair
right.
enough?
All right.
All right. Hope that helps you. And another thing, you guys just got back from the casino in Oklahoma for your 21st birthday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And happy birthday, by the way. Don't ever go to a casino with those credit cards in your wallet, right?
Yeah, that would have been a bad idea if I would have took that.
Yeah. So you got to be real. Don't put yourself in silly positions.
Okay.
Don't find yourself in scenarios or atmospheres that maybe you're not thinking real straight due to bad decisions or whatever. And if you just don't have them with you, if you're going to be in an atmosphere,
Probably just take it out of my wallet.
yeah, take it out of your wallet.
Okay.
Don't have them with you if you're going to be in a position that that you might not make the wisest decisions. Right? We've all been there, so that's it.
Okay.
All right. So come see me when you get that statement in the mail.
All right, I will. Thanks, Dad.